He just straight up tears into you on everything you do. Oh, this is kind of beautiful. Oh, look at this. Oh, no. Just like I was having some PTSD. I'm like, wow, maybe it was good I didn't have a dad.
Fucking quote right there.
Holy shit.
Welcome to the Spindash Retro Gaming Podcast. Prepare yourself for the joy of classic gaming. Fired straight into your delicate little ear holes. Fire away.
You know what he was doing? He's edging you, Matt.
He was.
This is what I was doing.
What is that?
It's
Wine
a mini
bottle?
wine bottle.
Fucking Sutter House. Jesus.
Okay, PBR boy.
I don't even have no booze.
I know. I got water tonight because I'm all stuffy. I got the sniffles.
Yeah, same.
Weak.
I know. Take that off.
Welcome to another great episode of Spindash Retro. Joining me today is Matt and John. How you guys doing?
I was hoping for a nickname.
Already he's disappointed. Already he's talking down to you.
That carries over.
Why do you need a nickname, John? Is there something lacking in your life? Do you need that form
Creativity,
of love?
man.
You
Come
don't
on
need-
now.
Oh my god, creativity. This fucking game of the week was creativity. So much creativity, rainbows coming out your mouth and your ass.
Yeah.
When we all get together.
Hey-o.
I don't know what that means. I really
Because
don't know what that means.
he always poops a lot.
You do poop an awful lot.
I did not poop a lot this time. I only had one poop. One poop when we were out there on the good old island.
Yeah, we didn't go at
Is
it
that-
hard though. That's always
Yeah,
the
I
thing.
don't
Like
I don't make you drink anymore.
Neither of us make ourselves drinks anymore because we know the repercussions.
we drag all this booze out there, like we think we're 18 still, and then we end up dragging it all back because we can do half of what we think we can do. I remember
That's why I didn't
lucky
buy any
third.
this time.
we had that fridge filled with booze that one year, and we drank a huge chunk of it. Like we put away a ton of beer.
I think we put away at least 90% of it, didn't we? Because it was like I remember we had like 2 or 3 full bags of bottles that we dropped off right before we got onto.
And Dan
the
brought his
ferry.
own. Dan brought his own that year.
Yeah.
We finished Dan. Like the thing was, we had to
It
finish
was
Dan
mostly
first.
his. It was like
So
mostly the
a
stuff he made.
keg and a fridge full of beer.
Yeah.
And that was heavy beer.
Now it's like
Was it?
a 6-pack. I'm feeling it.
Oh, I don't want to wake up the next morning.
We won shots at trivia. That was nice.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
We did some
bummed
with
I
Claire's
missed that.
mom.
Yeah, we wish you were there, Matt, because there's some questions I think you would have helped out on.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, work got in the way, but at least I didn't cause any drama at the bar this time, so that's good.
Man, I thought she
Playing
was going to kill you.
games, causing drama.
And I'm the least dramatic one out of us all. Like, if you had to take a bet on who's going to cause drama in a bar, like, everyone would be like, oh, it's going to be Justin. That's just what he does. That's just his nature. But it was
Yeah,
me.
this time it wasn't. No.
Sometimes it was me. I surprised even myself. But it was nice out there. New ferry's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that new ferry.
I'm not saying you were right, John. I will never on the show say you were right.
I think you've said it, actually.
But what I will
Once.
say is, had we waited until the 15th, that would have been rough. Because I spent basically all weekend outdoors, and the campfire I think is what got to me. Like I am just like clogged. Like you can hear it. It's just like
Yeah.
I sound like I've been just smoking a pack. Just
Nice. Yeah.
maybe that's what it was. Just sitting in front of the campfire was the equivalent of just smoking. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe
Got it.
Dan threw poison ivy in his burner. Who the hell knows?
That would get you.
But
I remember chucking an old boat on there one time when we were doing one, and I realized it had like a lot of lead paint on there. So I was like, evacuate. Everybody leave the room, leave the area. So I was like, don't inhale this.
I just got to burn some trash.
Fill the bar with a nice smoky trash smell.
We were out to Dan's, and he got his Halloween costume caught on the fire, and it burned his cape. Like the whole bottom of it got singed. So that's probably what happened. Just inhaling this, chemical infused cape. Yeah, that's a fucking wild tangent.
Yeah,
right.
You guys got any pickups? Nick, did you got any pickups? You son of a bitch.
Oh, the guy on the dump gave me.
I fucking hate you. I was so mad. And do you know your wife snitched on you?
Oh, I know, because I came in and she's like, "Oh, I'm sending a picture of Matt. I'm so sending a picture of Matt." I'm like I came in, I'm like, I can't do this to Matt. I can't. I'm not gonna say anything. She's like, "Fuck you," and she freaking took a picture, snapshot of me with it. I'm like, "Oh, well, here we go."
I told her to raise your life insurance more because I was gonna come down there and stab you in your sleep.
What'd you get now?
Nothing big, nothing much. I may have gotten a full, complete Wii system. Inbox complete.
Does
the
it
one
work?
You're trying to flip?
Works perfect.
I hate you.
There's a new one. This is my fourth one.
Stop fucking finding Wii's at the dump. Who are these assholes that are throwing away a perfectly
And they're
good
all good
Wii?
ones. The ones that Matt likes too. The GameCube ones.
Yes. Why?
Yeah.
What is wrong with this world?
It came with a Wii remote, a Wii Plus remote, a wheel randomly. It came with 3 games, nothing big. It was just like Just Dance and Wii Fit Plus, and what else was the other one?
That's fun, actually. I like that one.
And I think Wii Sports as well.
Oh yeah.
So
did it come with Mario Kart?
No. I mean, I have
Where'd
2
you get
copies
that
of Mario Kart.
Kart.
I have 2 copies of Mario Kart.
Fucking bastard.
Okay.
I do have one. So, you guys are welcome to it. I also have one that's apart on my desk right now that I need to put back together, but I forgot because when I did, I was kind of drunk when I took it apart and didn't take
Why
pictures.
did you take apart the Wii drunk?
Why not? I'm probably going to get another one this weekend anyways.
You're the least likely to get drunk randomly.
I got pretty well together. I just have some things, so I'll have to watch some videos, put it back. I may have screwed up the disk drive on it. I'm not too worried about it. This one's going to become just the ROM one.
Yep.
So I'll just make it a full-on EMU station.
That's what mine does. The disk drive stopped working.
So I'll just make a full EMU station and get it going. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was complete. I had the box and everything. So
my dump has a bunch of broken RCA cables. That's the height of what I found at my dump.
Oh, wait, sorry. I also got and I don't know if it works. I don't have the power cord for it, but I have an Xbox One S that looks like it has just a broken HDMI port. So if it's just a broken HDMI port, then that's how much of those are retailed at.
Just
it makes me so mad.
I'm going to come down there with a sledgehammer.
I'm going to be sending your wife with a big gift anyways.
A bunch of broken shit to see what I can save, baby.
Yep.
Here's my trash. Fix it.
I'm pretty excited.
Keep it if he wants to, though.
The GameCube is the one I have the highest hope for, and I'm going to weaponize that against you, John. My plans, and we'll discuss this in our year-end review, but my plans for 2023, if we're not all dead in a nuclear holocaust, my plans for 2023 is to pick extremely expensive games, ones that we could never buy, and that playing illegally is the only way that we could access them. And it's all going to be from that late generation. So Nick has access to free McBoot, and if I can get Nick's GameCube going, so that's going to force your hand. You're either going to have to pay stupid prices for these games or find a way around. I'm very excited to play this game. It's just a matter of getting Nick a modded GameCube.
Fling your feces, monkey. Do your worst.
And now that I know that I can, if that GameCube can power on for $10, I can get Nick a modded GameCube with the Pico boot setup for $10, and I owe Nick that for a muffin and then the food from Vinyl Haven. So I literally could pay him back with a working GameCube, and it would fuck you. I'm so excited.
What are you more proud of? The fact that you pay me back with this game system, or the fact that it's a fuck you to John?
The practice of modding it, one, and the fuck you to John is like
right there.
You can't put a value on that. I mean, that's
all right.
John's either going to have to get into his Wii and install Nintendo, which he's like, I'll do it someday, and he's never going to do it.
I never do it. I haven't touched any of that shit.
Yeah. Or John's going to have to spend some money. Like, could I make John buy Skies of Arcadia? Maybe. That would be a good idea for me. That'd be fun
Skies of Arcadia? Jesus Christ.
What can't I do in 2023? The sky's the limit.
It's on Dreamcast, man. We could figure that out.
Oh yeah, you could emulate it, but still,
Yeah.
I mean, there's some expensive GameCube games. Cubivore, I could make you play Cubivore. Good luck trying to find that thing in the wild.
Yeah.
Nick's Dump's got it. You don't got it.
What bricks would match shit if I brought back like rare games?
What time does your dump open on Saturday?
It's what time is it open?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't get in unless you have a sticker.
Easy enough.
But it's open 7:30 to 4:30, Friday through Monday.
All right.
I've told you, dude. Literally, calm down, and I'll take you in. I'm right now. They are hunting for me right now. I'm looking for a Trinitron TV.
Yes, that's my old TV.
Because that one has the nice blacks.
Sony Trinitron.
Yeah.
You remember that, John? That TV that we had in college in my room.
That was a loud TV.
That had the flyback transformer was fucked in it. So like when you first turned on the TV for like the first hour, it was just like this high pitch, just
all the mice in the basement just ran away. Yeah, that was a good one.
Let's see. The Sony was the 10 best CRTs for retro gaming. What do you think they are?
Number one is going to be a PVM of some sort.
Yep.
Number two is going to be a BVM, whatever the hell the difference between a PVM and a BVM is.
No, it's not.
Really?
And this is from Retro Dodo, so the top 10 of 2022 TVs.
Because CRTs change an awful lot from year to year in 2022.
It's a Sony PVM. Ooh, I think I saw a Sony PVM the other day at my dump.
Of course you fucking did. Do you know what they cost?
I think I might have.
I hate your dump. Why would they throw away a PVM?
I think I might have saw. Maybe we'll see. So yeah, so number one is Sony PVM 14M2U. So it's probably a 14-inch TV. I'm assuming.
Yeah, they like the little ones. People like to put them on their desks.
Let's take a look. What's the guess on eBay cost right now? Holy!
Yeah,
that's not
working
the same
order
one.
$449.99 for just a fucking for the board. People are selling the. There's a Sony Trinitron right there. Bam.
Trinitrons aren't too hard to find.
No, they have a pretty good color. I had next one is a Toshiba. After that is a Philips Discoverer. So it looks like a astronaut helmet. The Sony High Scan. Then holy shit, a lot of Sonys in here. The Sony BVM.
Okay, so the BVM did make the list.
Yeah. JVC D series. JVC Videosphere. That's kind of cool looking. It's way more like collecting. JVC TM. Well, I don't think this was even in the US. Ikegami HTM.
Yeah, I never heard of that.
No. Another Sony. It looks like it's a Sony. It was a 40-inch Sony.
Yeah.
CRT. That thing's got to been hefty as fuck.
It probably killed somebody if it fell over.
These TVs hit second-hand sites. They come to a hefty price of $1,000. Shit.
You got to remember, this was at the time where Sony was top of their game. Like 80s and then 90s, like Sony could do no wrong during that period. I mean, they had the Walkman.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you set aside the whole Betamax fiasco, Sony crushed it back then.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a Betamax.
I've never seen one.
I've been at a friend's house that had the laser discs, but never Betamax.
I've seen a laser disc. I've never held one. A record size.
Oh yeah, the girl in
CD.
Vinyl Haven had like the Dark Crystal or something on laser disc, and yeah, we snuck some beers and went over to their place. Like, you want to watch laser disc? I was like, I don't even know what that is.
It's such a weird technology because it's kind of like it wants to be analog and it wants to be digital all at the same time, from what I understand.
It skipped like crazy. If you moved, if you like stomped on the floor, it would skip.
I want a mini disc player for no apparent reason. Like, Nikki, if I paid for one, she'd just be like, what the fuck are you going to do with that? And I would not have a good answer for that. I want one.
Would you get a laser disc player? Like video laser disc?
No, not really. It's not my jam. People who love them. That's your thing. Have at it. I'd rather take up space with vinyl if I'm going for antiquated technology.
Yeah.
But on a show like this, it's like, well, pick what technology that's old and outdated that people laugh at you for. That's what we're here for.
I saw a hub that allowed you to just put a CD in the player and it burned it to it. And it was high fidelity audio too. Like, so you could just throw all your CDs in and it had like a click wheel menu.
Yeah.
And I don't know I forgot the name of it, but I saw that and I was like, that would be me. Cause it had 80 gig hard drive in it. So it could store a lot. And they're like, yeah, just one. It was like meant for boomers. Cause it was like, just insert your music and it'll do it for you. No messy files. But yeah, the sound was good and it looked fluid.
I've been going back with my CD collection and re-ripping them because a lot of the MP3s that I have, like, still on hard drive in my collection, like, I have some from the tail end of Napster that go back that far.
Yeah,
like, that is insane. But I still have Napster MP3s in my possession, and they sound like shit.
They do. Whatever CD I had with Nelly, Hot in Here. It's like, he goes, yo, welcome to AOL. I want you to check out my song.
Good Lord.
Yep.
I still have all my stuff from that. No, actually, I ended up getting a full file corrupt. So all of my stuff from LimeWire, from Napster, all that got wiped out. I think it was a select few songs. I think I have like a pocket of songs that are just there. And it's funny because they have I have to go back and rename them because they burned with the wrong name, or they came wrong name, like www dot whatever the file was, because I'm pretty sure that's probably what destroyed one of my computers, is when I downloaded it and got some worm or Trojan.
Who didn't destroy the family computer with LimeWire? Like, that was a rite of passage.
It was so bad. Yeah, Nick, your music collection was so jumbled when I stole yours from you.
Oh yeah.
Whatever you had, yeah, just a hodgepodge folder.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Then I ripped every CD that my buddy Nick had, and he had his whole CD collection, which was fairly extensive, plus his parents' CD collection, which is fairly extensive.
Yep. So
that's why it's a hot Mod Podge, because there's probably some Christian rock on there, some just sounds of there. Because I just went through literally, I think I spent a week just putting just at a time, just dropping a CD in and just letting it burn, taking out
all of the Weird Al. The Weird Al compendium.
Weird Al anthology.
Why not?
Right.
So yeah. I got thinking about LimeWire the other day. It's like our family computer was really in a no-win scenario. It spent its entire life fighting a two-front war between me downloading everything illegal as possible from the sketchiest sites humanly known to man, on one end, and then my dad installing every toolbar that popped up, which is like, oh, we could install a toolbar. Oh, that sounds great. So those things you open up like the browser, it's like 17 rows of just bullshit. And they're like, I don't know why the internet's not working. It's because you fucking installed 9,000 toolbars.
Data mining back in 2002.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Yep.
You know what would probably just break some of these kids now is give them the data speeds that we had in 2002, between 2000 to 2004, and just let them go. Like, here you go. I want you to download a song. I want you to try to download a movie. I remember waiting for like so long just to download, like, I think it was took me like a week and a half just to download one movie.
Yeah.
Like, you just put it on, you just left it.
Yeah. I don't think I did that until college.
Yeah. No, then someone goes and like you're halfway done this massive download and someone picks up the friggin' phone, tries to call out, and the thing just and then it's done. You just lost hours because someone needed to call Aunt Tina over and who knows wherever the hell.
I remember waiting for when I first started doing emulation. I did that back in high school. So I started doing emulations back in high school when it was what was the big place to download it from?
Emmy Paradise was the big one, but I don't know if how far they went back.
No, I don't think that was Emmy Paradise. I don't think it was that one. I do remember what was the emulators though at those times.
You had Nesticle, which was the one with
I used Nesticle. What was the SNES one?
ZSNES.
Yeah, use that one. Those were the two we used.
Yep, I love that.
Those were the
one.
only ones we played. We only did NES. I only did that, and then I think I had those two. I didn't do anything Sega because I always had a Sega on me. But I remember having that because I remember playing. What was it? Oh, I was playing the original Final Fantasy when I had my surgery on my eye. Because I had to keep my head down, so I had my monitor, with big ass monitor, tilted on its side. But just like I had a little shims on each side, so the wires can go in the back of it. And then I was just looking down, just playing it on my keyboard, and I had everything like that.
It's the point now. It's really sad. I'm actually nostalgic for these old emulators, which are in turn just a way to play games that you were nostalgic for. Like you're nostalgic for the thing trying to copy the thing, which is ridiculous. Like I remember ZSNES, like when it first came out, it couldn't handle transparency on Super Nintendo. Like a lot of the water effects, it was kind of like if you put like a see-through layer on top of something. So you had to push like a key in order to make the water disappear. Like you had to do all this bullshit because the emulator couldn't do all the things. It wasn't at that point yet. Like, got to play it without sound on this game because this game fucks up if you have sound running. I've got to turn this. All these like weird tweaks.
Well, it was funny because the games that we played, we never actually played because it was funny because me and my buddy both had a Super Nintendo through our high school career. We both still had our Super Nintendos, but we'd be playing the games that we couldn't find typically. So in this case, it was like the Bomberman's games because they only had one. I think two Bombermans actually came out in the U.S. Super Bomberman 1 and Super Bomberman 2.
Yep.
Then I think 3, 4, and 5 are all Japanese and EU. So those are gonna be fun hunts because I would like to get the full Super Nintendo Famicom collection. And I want to start doing the Bomberman games, but there's some pricey ones out there.
I'd imagine 5 is pricey in Japan.
Even for the Japanese version, yeah. So, but yeah, slowly but surely, I still need to get a Nintendo part of my collection for a console. So only realistically, the Atari and a Nintendo.
Your dump has failed you. That'll be on your pickups for next week. Yeah. You know, guys, I found both.
I'm just waiting for someone. I'm just waiting for someone like to clean out their camp before like the season fully is done. And be like, oh, kids don't use this anymore. Like, fantastic. Let's put this boy to use.
John, did you get any pickups?
No.
John,
nothing. Nah. I bought a board game.
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
Yeah. That's about it.
I'm quiet too. So I picked up the sequel to our game of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Because I couldn't stop playing our game of the week, so I had to have that. And then I picked up this other thing, and when it comes, I'll talk about it because it's going to clog up some time. But I did. I'm going to go through and buy the whole franchise of the game of the week. I've committed to that. That is a new goal for me.
So should we
there's
go?
that many?
There's a ton. How many is there? I think there are like 6, isn't there, Matt? No, more than that, I think.
There's one on PS3, so I have to get a PS3 up and running just to play that.
Well, yeah, there you go. You have a PS3.
Nick has 2.
Yeah.
I do. Oh, John, how many fucking GameCubes you have? How many Dreamcasts do you have?
2.
2 of each.
Yeah.
Hush your mouth. 1, 2, 3. There's 13 games, by the way, with the game of the week.
Jesus.
They can't all be different. There's like re-roll.
No, I didn't count re-roll. So
what is
John's given up. So what's hopping in the game of the week is Katamari Damacy.
Come on. 避けてみた、逃げてみた、勢い余って飛んでみた。よっ、ペラ、押してみた、引いてみた、力の限り投げてみた。ぶつかった、弾かれた、ものすごい衝撃が走った。
So
wow, I said it right.
backstory.
And this is John is bashing the whole Japanese.
No, I'm bashing you. Try to pronounce it.
John
Katamari
and I were
Damacy.
both sitting here playing things, trying to pronounce it.
Katamari Damacy.
It'd been funny if John just like quit out. He just walked on. It's Damacy, Dam.
Yeah.
No, get out of here.
No, it's too cringy for me. See you guys.
You will
game-
see unspeakable cringe. There's no way this game is even close to cringe.
Oh, this game was. I mean, it was near perfect. I think. I mean, this game. I remember when it came out because I was getting game magazines, and I'm trying to think. I was getting the PlayStation game magazine. I remember actually this hit. I'm pretty sure I saw this in one of the ads. Like, oh, that looks cool. And I saw it like your advertisement. Oh, that looks cool. I'm like, oh, that'd be a good fun. That looks like a fun game. I just never had a PlayStation 2. Like, it wasn't my PlayStation 2. It was it was my parents. So I'm like, oh, I didn't really play the PlayStation 2 much unless I was playing with a game with my parents or something of that nature, or I was able to snag it away for a hot minute. Other than that, I had the N64, so this game didn't really come onto my radar. I didn't get a PlayStation 2 till much later, and by that time, it was, I think I had a slim version, and I didn't remember. I totally forgot about this game altogether. But wow. But I don't think me back then would have liked this game. I don't think it was up my alley back of the me back then. Because this game is weird, funky, and it wasn't a game I thought I was gonna like. I literally put this game on the radar because I'm like, oh, this would look like a cool game, as well as like it was a fuck you to John, because John's like, pick a game that's not one of the top tier. Pick a game with some creativity that's a little weird and strange. I get my beer only at the breweries themselves. I like IPAs.
Oh man! Wow.
So, do you want to have a quick laugh? I was happy you put this game on your list because I was going to pick this game for John too. Like, I too knew nothing about this game, right? So I was running around trying to find obscure gems, and this isn't really an obscure gem, but it popped up on a bunch of like interesting and weird games that you should play, like fun, quirky, charming things. I'm like, oh, that'd be perfect. That'd be perfect. And that was right around the time that I was looking at like Mr. Mosquito. Remember, I'm going to make us play that next year. We're going to play that next year. But that was one of them. And then like you got talking about, oh, you want to put that on your list? I'm like, oh, hands up. I'm like, no, we're going in. I was so happy you picked this game.
Because I threatened it. I actually texted you and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to do this, Matt. And I just texted you just silently, and then you're like, fucking do it. You're like, do it. Just do it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go for it. So I'm like, let's do it. And one thing I was happy with this game, overall, just start off, overall, this game was straight up enjoyment. Like everything through and through, from song to it's like the right amount of time to play time, and it was a nice, easygoing game. Just everything just like clicked. It felt really nice. Well, I was hoping for this game was two things. It either failed horribly, that I could take the most bottom rank just to knock John out of one of those, or I can knock some of John's game, or do extremely well where we all like and high rank it and knock some of John's picks down further in the list.
So you're playing the game. He's gunning for your strategy, John. The high-low.
So you saying this before we rank them means that I could just put this at the bottom and you guys are going to put it at the top, so it just goes right in the fucking middle.
But John, if you do that just to be
shit.
John, if you do that just to be a dick, that's stupid.
Our thousands of
That's half of the
listeners.
things you guys do. You do it just to be a dick.
Thousands of listeners.
I have 100% ranked everything of what I felt it needed to be.
I just picked this game because John's gonna hate it. that's no, out of your mouth. Both of your mouths. A lot of times
he fairly ranks it. The ranking is ranked. It's still a fuck you to make you play.
So you hold rank above actually playing a game.
100%.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. The rankings are accurate, but the fuck you is also real.
See, John, I wanted you to do one. I wanted this game like, okay, this is going to be either up John's alley completely, and it's going to just be like, it's going to be up your alley, and me and Matt are just going to fucking just hate it.
Yeah, you just said you wanted me to hate it.
No, I said I wanted it to be. I wanted it just to be at the bottom. So even if you scored it at a medium, like halfway through the list, and then me and Matt went down, we could knock some rankings down.
He's established the element of the show is the other person is always collateral damage in this like charge to fuck you over. Like you are always the mark on all these ridiculous picks, and it's your fault for Body Harvest. I feel like Body Harvest and Clock Tower have earned you. It's just like,
for me, it's been Body Harvest all along.
I still say Crystal Warriors is worse than Body Harvest.
No way.
Yeah. Well, you had a lot of points there, and they contradicted each other an awful lot.
Hey, contradictions, all what I'm about.
So I'm glad that I preached enough for you to go and pick an obscure game. So I'm happy that I got you to branch out a little bit.
So what is this miraculous game that like? How would you describe this to some? How would you sell it? Like if you're gonna sell it, what would it be?
You want a trip without actually doing drugs? Play this game. Also, I'd put a warning on this. If you're born in the 80s, even early 90s, and you have PTSD from parents, play this game. Don't play this game.
Do you have dad issues? Don't play this game.
Because holy fuck. Like, I mean... Wow. Like, I'm trying to think where I can jump off or leap off. Other than, hey, your dad got drunk, he fucked up some shit, and he's leaving you to pick up the mess. Which I think we all hark back to a parent of some sort of doing a like, oh shit, drunk, oh shit, let me pick up this, oh fuck. So it was Yeah, I mean, it starts off. Your dad is the king of all cosmos. He goes out on a bender and he pretty much destroys the night sky. So there's not a star in the sky, not a constellation, nothing. And he tasks you to, in a sense, rebuild the sky. So you are the small little thing of a creature, and you have to roll around this Katamari, which is you have to pick up things and successfully get to a certain size. And once you hit that size, you build your star.
So I think the size difference is hysterical too, because like your dad is
Yes.
king of the cosmos. He's just this like giant dude, and you're just like this little tiny peanut rolling around this ball that is like. Do you start off? Is it start off millimeters or is it in centimeters?
It's centimeters. It's centimeters. Yeah, it's 10 centimeters is where you start off at, I think. Yeah, 10 centimeters. Yeah, 10 centimeters you start off. But it also depends on what star you're doing. You might start off
Right.
at a lower star, too. So each level differs from the start of your Katamari, as well as the time frame he gives you to where he thinks you could achieve this. And
So-
you better fucking achieve it, too.
In theory, you should have infinite amount of time to build back the stars, but your dad is a narcissist and gets bored. It's just like, I'm going to give you 13 minutes because I don't have the attention span to watch you roll around and bore me.
Yep.
And he'll say that, too. He's like, hurry up. You got a minute left. Like, at the last minute, he's harking on you. Come on, get it. Come on. Then after you actually complete and do what he says, he, like, full on belittles your hard work and makes you feel like more shit. Well, wow, that was kind of good. Look at you. He's like, oh, what? It's like you work so hard to get, we'll say, you got like 95 on a test, or no, we'll say 85 on a test, and you came in from like you're doing solid like D- work, and you like busted ass, bring it around. Oh wow, a B plus. Well, geez, couldn't do any better. You could even get like an A plus and be like, oh wow, A plus, good for you, kind of deal. He just straight up tears into you on everything you do. Oh, this is kind of beautiful. Oh, look at this. Oh no, just like I was having some PTSD. I'm like, wow, maybe it was good I didn't have a dad.
Fucking quote right there.
Holy shit!
Matt and I bonded over some dad quotes back in the day about how they just ragged on us. Very similarly, by the way. Like, yeah, that one, like you said, oh, you only got a B plus. What's the matter with you?
I like the if we had done this, it would have been much better. It's like, no, you fucking wouldn't, because you didn't do it. You made me do it, so it wouldn't have been better. You didn't do it at all.
All right, so looking at this, I was looking back at this. So your tutorial, you have a 10 centimeter Katamari, but then you start off when you start doing your stars, it starts off at a 5 centimeter, and
So
then you have to get it to then you have to get it like whatever that level of achievement is.
So Katamari, I think, means like lump or clump or something like that in Japanese.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
Damacy is spirit. So you're clump spirit.
Clump spirit.
Clump spirit. Yeah. And it's listed as a third person puzzle action video game. So this was developed by I'm gonna mess up this name definitely. Well, it's published. The publisher was Namco, and it was actually made by a guy that was actually part of the art department for Namco. So he actually started in the art department, and he just had this idea for this. So with the development is Kieta Takahashi.
I'll give it to you. That works.
Yeah, throw there. He just got ideas just playing things, and this was like before he had this thought of this game, and he actually wanted to release it, but the technology wasn't there. So when Sony mentioned their PS2, that's when he really started kicking gears and getting this project underway and developing it. This game, you could tell it was a low budget game because it probably was like, hey, let's see what we can do with this. But it hits like all the high marks. Like the music is, I think, outstanding on this. I like the intro where it's just like it's almost like that wake up music to like a sunrise kind of deal, and just everything has just a nice little beat. I'm like, oh, this is just, like you can actually. I turned this up. I had my headphones in, I plugged in, and I was just had this cranked and just cruising around with a ball. And I mean, the only thing I think I had a qualm on at first is with this game and during development is the fact that you are practically only using your joysticks. So you're straight up only using your thumb joysticks, which took a long time for me to really get a handle of it. Like, I don't think I fully got a handle until literally probably the ending, where I was mastering it. Because if you didn't,
Way easier on a PS2.
Yeah, I found the off-centered sticks because I played the re-roll on Switch, and then I was playing the sequel on PS2, and it's so, I don't know, it feels so much better to have the sticks in line to play it versus off-centered.
Well, when you had to do like your charge, you had to like go up and down, up and down, up and down, like offset up and down on both of them to get your charge, or even like you had to do a quick pivot move. Like it just became like I think that's my only qualm, but it actually still made sense for the game how the game was moving. Like,
yeah, it was kind of a mind fuck on how the controls worked. They made sense. It made sense, but like moving both sticks diagonal turned you, or you can move one stick up and one stick down to do kind of a more rapid pivot in place around the ball.
Yeah,
it all made sense, but when you were actually tasked with doing it and the time is crunching, it's like my brain can't do this.
The bigger you got, the tougher it was too. Like, yeah, you moved slow.
Or what you picked up as well. Like if you picked up like a telephone pole or something like a pencil, and you only picked
Those
up that one
fences. Yeah,
then you had like this awkward movement. So you're trying to like fill the ball in those sections so you get a better movement on the ball. And then I think the only thing was weird is like you're trying to think of what items you could pick up as well. He's like, oh, I could pick up this. I should be able to pick up this. Then you like go full force ahead of it, and then you crash, and then you lose some items. So then you're trying to pick those items up again. I mean, you start off like you said. You start off like on a table, the floor of this family that ultimately does come part of the story as well. These kids become part of the story. But you're in this family's house, and you're like picking up everything from like crumbs to cookies, batteries, erasers. You can go up to like flowers, cats. Then you can go up further, like lampposts. Then you start going in cows, building. Like you go so far that you ultimately go to the sky. But just as some of the things you had to pick up, like it's just weird. Like, hey, pick up some. What is it for one of the constellations? You have to pick up a bunch of swans.
Cygnus, yeah. That was funny.
For Gemini, you have to pick up a bunch of twins. And then you have the offshoot comments while you're doing those as well, that the things like, oh, da 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 da. Those ain't twins, those are triplets.
Yeah, one of the things I liked about this game is like it's very weird. Like you can tell when you fire the thing up and they go, oh, la, 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 and just the dad. Like it's very bizarre. But like when you're playing the opening levels, you're like, okay, this is kind of a cutesy, whimsical game. And then like as the game progresses, it just gets more and more absurd. Like, by the time you're picking up people and they're like wiggling and squirming around, and you can just like hear them yelling. And then that last level, which we'll talk about the last level at some point, because that was just bizarre as fuck. Like the game just keeps ratcheting up absurd. And that's kind of like a sweet spot for me. Like if something's absurd, I will sit there and laugh my ass off at it for longer than any normal human should. So like this game was just, it hit on all the right spots for that. It's just like, this is funny. Like I want to keep playing because it's so bizarre.
It's very Japanese.
Yes.
Very Japanese.
Unapologetically Japanese.
Which is fun. Because you could actually kind of see into their culture actually in a brief way, because you think about it, what is it? They are all about, doing always like working, constantly making this better. It's like you don't get, like I said, use grades earlier. You don't get below a plus, right? You don't get below, and like you start picking up people like you see like they're always in suits walking down the hallway. The design of this game too. It's like it's not smooth textured, but I don't think even if smooth textured was an option, he wouldn't done it. It always would have that hex domino like there. You always have square figures. You would always have like nothing really truly rounded.
I thought about that a lot when we were playing that. Is that the art style because that's what he wanted, or were there limitations on what he could do and he had to back the art style into it? Because either way, he ended up with something that makes sense. Like this game, like I played it on the Switch. This game's timeless. It's a PS2 game, and they really didn't change a whole lot. And in 50 years, when someone goes and plays this, it's still going to feel fresh 50 years down the road because of that blending of art and gameplay.
I think that's what hold this game up too, is the fact that, like you said, the art and the blend of the gameplay. I mean, what games right now hold up that we played? Anything pretty much 8-bit or 6-bit.
In this generation, none. And I feel like that
8-bit and 16-bit are the ones that actually kind of hold up. Those ones that were like 2D platformers, those all still hold up. I mean, they're still technically remade today. And actually, you see a lot of games going back to where they're making 8-bit. I mean, what they did, Shovel Knight was one.
That low poly kind of look, is kind of timeless. You know what I mean? Like it was out of date when it came out on the PS2, and that was kind of
like 04 too, right?
Yeah, this is at the end.
Yeah.
This is at the near end because you're going into. You're coming up on 360. Ain't too far behind this.
No.
Yep, 2005. So this was at the end. So Xbox 360, because that came out, then PS3 came pretty quickly after that.
This game caught on. Like, I can see it catching on in Japan because it's really neat and quirky, and that kind of thing appeals over there. But over here, I could see this game just getting buried. You know, these kind of quirky, I wouldn't call it indie, but now we would kind of look at this and be like, well, that's kind of an
this has an indie. This have an indie flavor.
Feel.
Yeah,
it's quirky.
I didn't know it was re-released. I didn't know it was re-released. This was re-released like years ago. Like, I think this came out in like 2020.
Yeah,
re-released or 2000. Like, it was. Was it not like something that was like, oh, here it goes. John's
and I like
second bottle of wine.
Yeah, I like that the re-release didn't fuck with a whole lot either. Like it made it widescreen. Some of the things are up-resed a little bit, but it left a lot alone.
Yeah, it didn't. It just made it so it's able to be played on a new age system. Like it didn't change the difficulty. It didn't. Everything was pretty much exactly the same.
I thought some of the time windows were different. I thought I read somewhere that there was a couple that you got a little bit more time. Like they balanced a little bit on the updated one, but not enough that it's a radically different experience.
Strike what I said. I said this came out in 2020. This actually for the Switch came out in 2018.
18. Wow.
So this is a 4-year-old game as far as on the reroll. And I was like, oh, we'll do this. But I mean, just the case is so, like, the PlayStation 2 art form is so great. It's just, literally you have Katamari, then you have, I'm assuming what Katamari is in Japanese, then Damacy. Then you have like the blue sky, like it looks like you have Mount Kojima right in the back, and the cityscape, and this the rainbow. Then you have this big Katamari bowl of everything being rolled up, and you have like a couple cows, like in front. Like it's so, I don't know. It's just it's nift. It's just like it looks very artful.
I gotta wonder too, how many great game developers, great game figures in gaming came up through on the art side of things. Like we know Miyamoto did. Miyamoto was on the art side of things with Nintendo before he cut into game making. The hell else am I thinking of? The Mega Man guy, he was on the art side of things before he got dragged into doing.
I read that they didn't have enough bandwidth for this project, so the guy recruited a couple of laid off mechanical engineers from like the arcade department to code for him.
That's awesome.
Yep. So this is a hodgepodge game. Yeah.
It has that arcade feel. I mean, when you load up the game and like you see Namco and you like rolling the ball to pick your file and whatever.
Yep.
It's like I could see this being a Namco game. That
timers
makes
on the
sense
levels.
to me.
Yeah. Yep.
Very arcade. Actually, that would kind of be kind of cool seeing this if someone could turn this into arcade, but instead of having like trolls, you know how you had the ball for like doing like
a trackball
where you could just like spin. If someone could get that where you like you spin and you had to just like do like a back then you had to do like a super spin to do your jump and
like Golden Tee. Take a Golden Tee arcade machine.
That would be just badass if someone converted that.
Yeah.
I'm throwing out there in the universe right now.
The flip option when you could click down on the sticks, I used that a lot.
I did that too. Yeah, that was the key.
I never did the boost. You kept talking about doing the boost move.
That's the only way I was able to get through some levels.
It didn't spin up enough when you were bigger. Like it took a while, and I was just like, well, let's keep going. Because you didn't want to move fast anyway when you got to the like giant size. I used it sparingly. Because
I came to the third or fourth star, and I was like, I was not getting I think it was like 50 millimeters I had to get or something like that. And I was just running, I was like just hitting 35 millimeters. I'm like, son of a gun, I need, or whatever be the case of what I had to hit.
Meters.
I'm like, meters. I was like, not able to get it. I'm like, what do I do? I think I looked, just watched a YouTube video. I'm like, okay, how do I get through this? Is there something I'm missing? And something through the levels I didn't realize is once you get to a certain size of your ball, different parts of the level actually starts opening up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I didn't realize that, but also like the guy showed like where you're on top of the table and you do a super jump, and you pretty much launch yourself up into this area where there's a bunch of stuff that are able to collect at that point. So as soon as you get it, you can actually get your ball like significantly bigger within like a few seconds. Like you jump, like you literally triple your size quickly, and then you can just start rolling around. Because at one point it does get to a point where like you're just so big, like it doesn't matter what you do. Like you don't have to. There's not much like, oh, let's just go over here. Actually, like you said, it's not what you can't pick up. It becomes of how fast can you move to get to an area to pick up to get the stuff to get that size.
You almost have to know when to abandon stuff. Like at some point, it doesn't make sense to go after pineapples. You need to start going after cows and pigs. Like there was an
just getting stuck too, like between buildings, or like on that one little city where there's like one big patrol car and he just wrecks you every time.
Oh
you try to go by him. Yeah,
that's like when you get to when you have to build for star 7. You're like, geez.
Star 7 was where I was like, I had to go back and do it again for the first time. Yeah. And then the Ursa, the bear one, when you couldn't get the bear until you had to pick the biggest one or something. That one was like,
I didn't get that at first because I went and I got the smallest bear off the bat. And I'm like, I beat the level. Like that's way too easy.
Yeah.
Well, so you can technically beat the level. It's just you only did like 40% or 50% of the constellation. So that's what I'm doing right now is I'm going back and trying to 100% those constellations. So I'm like, okay, what's the best way to go? What's the best way? Like there is actually, like you said, Matt, you'll have to know when to like, okay, where to go. You kind of have to like mentally put in your head, like, okay, I'm at this size, so I need to go here now. Okay, I'm at this size, go to the next place. Just know when to abandon and like manage your time very quickly.
Yep.
and easily. Yeah, this game, like, I'm reading some of the like patterns that I got. So, aggregated score, this has for Metacritic 86 out of 100. This got
That's pretty
from
good.
OneUp.com gave it an A. Edge gave it 8 out of 10. Eurogamer, 8 out of 10. Sorry, 9 out of 10. Game Informer, which I use, that's where I had all the time. Because if you went at that point, that's Game Informer was what from GameStop.
I can't remember. They were. I didn't know they were.
GameStop had their own magazine subscription. It's like part of that's one of the part of the thing you got when you bought games. They gave it 8 out of 10, but everyone's like, it's like solid A pretty much through. And I saw something on composition for the music as well. Where was that? I have that in my
The
notes
music was
somewhere.
incredible. Like, extremely catchy, extremely diverse. Like, you'd have jazz on one level and then like J-pop on the next.
Yeah.
And like, there's that one song, and it was like whatever the level you have to pick up all the girls, or it's like the third or fourth level. It's this J-pop song, and I had it stuck in my head for like an entire week. It's like the movie Pi, where the guy picks up the drill at the end of the movie and just like drills holes in his head to make whatever happen. Like, that's me with this game. Like, just want to drill this friggin' J-pop out of my head, like make it stop. So friggin' catchy.
I have the sample going in the background right now. Hopefully it picks up. This
is one of the few games that we've picked that like my kids can watch play. Like, I generally like a lot of the games, it's like, this probably isn't for you. Like this one, they're sitting there like, go get the cow, get the cow. It's like, all right, we're gonna get the cow.
Yeah,
so
that was good.
So he pretty much gave full run to the director of music, Miyake, and his team to pretty much do whatever he wants for music. So literally, he's like, I don't care what the music was, just do whatever you want.
Nice.
So the artists were chosen after lyrics were written, and based on what Hayao Miyake and Takahashi felt they would gel with the music. So he picked everything and like, okay, I think this artist will be good. This would be good for this song. Just like literally composed the whole thing. Like, actually put game thought onto this one. He got some awards too in 2004. Like, he got some pretty decent awards. Catchy and highly recommended album. Like, I downloaded this album. I've got the whole album on my phone now. Like, it's just great. I play that no like in the morning. It just gets me going.
It's like happiness in a box. Like, that's what
it is.
What are you buying? Like, this is happiness. I was so pissed, John, because you're just like, oh, I haven't fired it up yet. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're like, oh, work's been really shitty, and this person did this thing. It's just like, you literally have a box of fucking happiness sitting in your house, and you're not doing it. That's kind of like if you had a headache and you won't take Tylenol. It's like, I don't fucking care. I don't care. You need to help yourself out of this.
Yeah, it was great, man. I enjoyed it.
I'm glad.
Are you though?
I am, because I think this is gonna do its do what
just
it
pick this
wants.
game because John's gonna hate it. Oh,
I did not say that. I said you're gonna hate it or you're gonna absolutely love it.
that comes out of your mouth like once a month. I'm gonna pick this game because John hates it.
But then you should
that's why I
really
pick
pick
anime
one that he
games.
hates. Yeah, that's.
I mean, I have a game that I think I would wish I could pick a game that Matt would hate, but it'd be so hard to pick a game that Matt hates. Like,
I don't think.
I don't think I can pick one.
My problem is like Body Harvest hit me at a right time where I had no patience, and the game demanded way too much patience. And I haven't played a game in that long that made me so angry. It's just like all these stars collided to make that just visceral hatred of that game. So now if you pick something, I'm just like, I'm mad at this. I'm not that mad. A moment's gone. And you know what? And that's kind of my problem with this game too. Like, I was going through shit at work. Like, this was my busy time of year. This is kind of the time of year where it's just like, this is fucking miserable and I hate every second of it. And it's like, oh, kids are in bed, wife's asleep. I've got a box of happiness in the other room. I know that sounds like disgusting. Like I've got like a blow up doll that I'm going to fuck or something. But it's just like,
I mean, that's, or something to smoke.
but it's just like, oh, they're all asleep. I'm going to play this. And, you fire it up. It's like, oh, no. It's like, oh, all this shit just washes away as I'm like picking up police. The cops and robbers are shooting each other. And I'm just like mowing them down with this giant ball.
When you try to pick up people and the women would scream.
They'd run away.
My wife came upstairs and she's like, "What are you playing?" And I was like, "It's this game." And she's staring at it like, "What is this?"
So the last level, Nikki was asleep on the couch. And it was one of those things like I just kept rolling. I'm like, okay, I'm picking up trees and plants, and I picked up a fucking circus, and it just keeps going. And then I'm like picking up clouds and rainbows and these fucking deities that are floating in the sky. I was like, Nick, you gotta look at this. You gotta look at this. And she's just like completely unimpressed that I'm freaking the hell out about this. Like, how are you not laughing at this? I just ripped up this fucking island. I'm rolling around in islands and clouds, and monsoons are getting sucked into my ball. Yeah, I laughed. That last level, I fucking died laughing. It's so fucking out there. When you're just giant squid, like you're ripping up sea monsters out of it. It's so fucking crazy. And when you think about this, like little tiny dude is rolling this, earth-like ball.
Yeah, when does he disappear? He just gets engulfed after a certain point?
Pretty much by star 7, you don't even see him. Like you get actually like a little bubble at the corner of the screen that shows him what he's doing. Like if you go in water, you see him like have a snorkel on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or if he's like there's something there, he starts to have like a panic. Like you see like him just doing his arms up and down, and you just like see sweat or like water squirting off of them. I almost have an anime style actually doing in this as well. I mean, this game, it hit. The only thing I have not played on this yet, and I'm probably going to do it, is the versus mode, where you go against your cousins.
Oh, see, I never played any of that either.
Nope.
So, and they all have like different Katamaris as well. Like it's you get to go against Prince and Fumin. You have Fujiro, Marcy, Jungle. Like they're all different ones. They all have like a weird look to them too.
It's your Tamagotchis.
You gotta catch them all.
I know you love me. I wanna word you up into my life. Let's roll up to be a single star in the sky. I hear you calling me. I wanna word you up into my life. Let's love up to make a single star in the sky. To you.
This game, like it did, I'm happy. I'm happy that I played this game. And I'm actually happy to have it on my collection. Both I have it, so I picked it up both for the PS2 and for the Switch. I'm glad to have it in both sets. Yeah. Like if I'm down here, I can just pop it in and play it for a little bit. It's a great go to sleep, go to bed game to play. Like if you're just in bed and just want to chill out for like 10-15 minutes, you can literally just play a couple levels in that time frame and just knock out a couple levels.
Get your nice stew on.
It strikes again. It's not a long game. You know what I mean? Like it's a good pick up and play game.
Yeah.
Fucking
I'm gonna make that meme.
You got a good little game here.
Good little game.
Oh my god,
Solid.
I love this game. What I will say, I had a moment where I beat it and I got through and I'd done most of everything that I wanted to do in this game. I just sat on the couch and I'm like, I think I'm depressed.
I was gonna say, did you have like a moment like after you finish like a really good book where you're like, oh, what am I gonna do now? Or you finish the movie, you're like, what's going on?
I was so
What do I do?
bummed. I was bummed that I'm
Yep.
like, well, I guess there's sequels. I can just buy all those. Like I can buy happiness again.
Just,
like a
just keep
drug addict.
rolling.
So let's see.
Dust.
Then when does Matt's happiness end? Then what? After game 11, Matt's just not going to be happy anymore.
Just deep
What
depression.
was worse, after you finished Breath of the Wild or this game?
Oh, I don't know. Breath of the Wild really.
That ending was just garbage.
Well, that and just like I'd spent so much time. It's like, well, now what do I do with my life?
Yeah,
This took so much. I had a podcast. I guess I need to go back and play the games that I ignored that entire time. Like,
right. Very anticlimactic ending.
oh yeah. This.
Well, hey,
this-
I mean, that at least has a sequel coming out. Maybe
Yeah,
they actually release it. I mean, I seen footage of
we
it.
shall see.
yeah, I have my
But-
doubts.
I didn't make a game because I didn't want to, and I'm in my busy month again, so I didn't have time to really think of anything. But let's just hop into overall ratings of this game. Like,
So
what
are
did you
you-
make? Honestly, what?
Do you mean like your closing thoughts, or do you mean like the ranking?
Yeah, let's do some closing thoughts, and then let's give some rating on us.
All right.
John, let's go with you. Actually, let's
Yeah.
have you. Let's get you some closing thoughts on you. Honestly, what did you think of this game?
My thoughts
They're
are sparse these
Sagittarius.
days. Well, they're talking about the constellations, so I had to. I always have a screen name in this that relates to our game.
And I
Try to be
applaud you
witty.
for it all the time.
I'm trying to be creative.
I didn't even notice. Sorry.
It was good, man. Yeah, it was short. It was a good game. Got a nice little stew going. A couple nights. I love the obscure gems, as you know, and I appreciate the art style. Even though I'll probably have a nightmare or two after I eat too many Oreos. Yeah, man, it was funny. It's good pick. Do you want me to rank it, or do we wait for that?
We'll wait. I
we'll
think
wait till
we'll
the
do.
end.
Wait till
Okay.
the end. Matt, what did you?
All right.
What was your final thoughts?
Oh God, I love this game. And I knew that, and I was texting you guys the whole time, and I was so annoyed that John wasn't playing it. I was just like, oh, this game was made for you. And it was just like, I don't know, everything hit. It's very rare for me that I have very few complaints about a game because I enjoy complaining.
Yeah,
It
me
just
too.
it just I don't know. I haven't played a game in so long where it's just one, I'm shocked by how original it is. Like, it's basically a dung beetle. Like, you're just rolling around shit. That's really what you're doing. Anyone could have thought of this game, but no one did, except this one dude. Like, it's such a simple concept. And I just couldn't this oddly satisfying feel of you start with nothing and you end up with this massive thing. Like, there's this accomplishment. I don't know. It just
You love your progressive games, and this was micro progressions every time. So I think it suited you.
and then, like, if you did something dumb, your dad would shit on you and you would laugh. So, like, when you failed, it was funny. When you succeeded, it was funny, because even then you got shit on. Like, and then the cutscenes with, like, I remember this at the if you do the last level, so you rebuild the moon. That's like the big reveal
Yeah.
at the end, and you're given the option of, like, you can destroy it and make it stardust, or you can turn it into the thing. And for shits and giggles, I destroyed the moon after building it. And it does the cutscene with the kid. And he's just like, oh, he did all this work. The prince did all this work to build everything. And then he destroyed it. And this one goes, oh man, rich people do some real weird things. And I don't know. I just fucking died laughing on the couch at this, like, weird Japanese style art. Just like, man, rich people do some weird things. It just,
Yep.
God, the humor got me in this game. It just, everything. I fucking
That reminded
loved it.
me of like a Comedy Central skit of some sort.
Yes.
Just like an off tangent, random fucking little clip. Yeah, it
Oh
was
my
great.
God.
Those
God,
were
I love this
hilarious.
game. Nick?
Like you, Matt, this game just like I wasn't expecting much off this game. like I said, all I remember seeing ads for it, seeing it there. I wasn't expecting too much. It was also a good price point. So I'm like, okay, good price point. We're not breaking a bank over this game. And it'll be like a, cool little nifty game just to play. And literally I was like, oh my God, what the fuck did I pick? Like, I wasn't expecting it to be like so quirky, but very awesome at the same time. Like a quirky, awesome little game where like I was enjoying it. Like I was like, okay, let's get to like I was addicted to it. Actually, I did not want to go to bed after playing because I'm like, I gotta get more. I gotta finish this up. Like right now, I'm thinking like, I still have a bunch of, Cygnus constellation to get. I still have to do, this constellation. I had to get a North Star built. Like I have like all these little things. Like I want to complete the game, like fully and utterly. And it's just so fun just to go back to because like even if you failed, like I think now if you fail a game, you're like, okay, fine, fuck it, I gotta walk away. I'm not gonna do this. This game, I'm like, I was so close. I gotta keep on going. Like this is a game where like you can play into wee hours in the morning. Like you went from night to morning, and you're like, oh fuck, oh shit, there's sun rising, because you're just trying to make sure you got that, like get everything, or because you're so close. It's that addiction that you have, and it was just fun having that. Like okay, like I remember it was like I think almost 2 in the morning. I'm like, oh, I gotta go to bed. I have to go to bed, and I just succeeded. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go to the next level. I'm just gonna turn it off and just go to bed. Save it, turn it off. I'm done. I can't do this. Because it was just so much fun. The music just like it was like you said, it like played to the moods of where you want to go. Like just having it, like it repeats in my head, and when it does, it's like I'm smiling. So it just hit on that, and especially now where I'm going into my shitstorm of a couple months of busy time for work. Like I'll probably have this game playing constantly still. Just like okay, I need that box of happiness, right, Matt? Like I need to hit that box of happiness. So it's gonna be my release definitely for this time period. I did have actually, I guess, pose a question. Was there anything missing out of this game, like as far as not building stars, but we'll say constellation, or something that you think that was like, hey, okay, they got Gemini, they got Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, whatever be the case. But where's the other like major constellations?
They could only cram so much into one thing.
Yeah,
they hit the big ones.
Well, I mean, because it is such a short game. I'm like, oh, well, like North Stars. I'm like, oh, where's the Big Dipper or the Little Dipper or something like that? Like those are ones I don't really think of. So the only thing I think of is maybe they don't think of the like constellations like we do, like Orion's Belt.
Well, a lot of these had astrology.
I thought there was Orion's Belt. I thought there was an Orion Belt.
I don't think so.
No.
Wasn't?
You have the Corona Borealis, the Cygnus, which is a swan, Cancer, and
what's the big or Little Dipper going to tie into? Like
spoons, in the kitchen,
collect spoons. Yeah,
yeah. You could literally like it wasn't hard to.
Yeah, maybe they should have had a comet or something. Like. Comet comes in and blows up some of your shit.
In the later games, I think if you do the level fast enough, there's an option that they let you play the level with no time. And I actually wish that I could do the last level with no time just to see how big of a ball you can make with infinite time. Like, I think that's a feature I wish this game had. Just like, let me just fuck with shit. I'm enjoying the world. Yeah. I'm enjoying my time. Let me play. And I think they did that later on. Yep.
Were there any secrets in the levels? Probably.
You find your cousins, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, I found some of them.
Presents. You also find presents. You find presents. Like you do. Like I think I found like a golden statue or award. Because your dad will say something. Your dad actually gives you hints. Oh, we left something over on this. Maybe you do it. Or we were just vacationing in. What was it like he? like some part of the world. He's like, you should try. It would be really good if you probably just visited there sometime. Like he's rubbing the salt in the moon. Like we didn't take you. While you're doing this stuff, we were going gallivanting around the earth, enjoying the beauty of it. So it is funny. Like, oh god, I'm gonna probably go home after this. I'll probably go play for a half an hour or so. Rankings.
So, John, I have Nick and I's, but if you'd like to pull up your
I've
Discord,
been staring at it for a while.
you could tell me where you'd like to put this.
I'd say this would supplant Star Tropics at 14.
All right, so you're gonna drop Star Tropics down.
Matt, what did you put it at?
So I had texted Nick at one point, and I don't know if I put you on that blast too, John, but I had said at one point, sacred cows are in need of being slaughtered. So I put this in my number 7 spot. It
Jesus.
sits between Mother 3 and Beyond Good and Evil. And I'll be honest, after playing it, I might have bumped this up higher. I debated with myself, like, all right, could this be better than Mother 3? I'm like, well, I remember back to Mother 3. I really enjoyed that. I'm like, well, maybe it could be that. Is this going to beat a Mega Man in my world? I debated beating Mega Man. I'm like, no, that's just me caught up in this fever of this game. Like, I need to come back down to earth. I wanted to my gut initially, and I didn't go with it, was really to put it where Nick put his. And
I remember you saying that to me when we're on a trip. You're like, I'm just saying this, but I think it's my top 5. You tell me where I was. You're like top 5, definitely.
I walked myself back, but I was going to drop Link's Awakening down because I'm like, Link to the Past I like that better than Link's Awakening. If I had to, like, I'm like, no, that's just me caught up in the fever of this game. So I walked myself, like, 7 was me saying, no, I need to be a little more down to earth. But I wanted to go fucking high as hell with this thing. And then Nick.
So this game, like I said, it's high up there. Like it hit everything for me. And I went where Matt was originally go. I went to my number 4. So I knocked off, being a Sega boy, I knocked off Sonic the Hedgehog, pushing Sonic down to number 5.
You're the only one that has Sonic the Hedgehog above Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. That makes absolutely sense.
It's a nostalgia thing. That one, because it's going to hit. It's my nostalgia game. I grew up a Sega boy. You guys grew up Nintendo.
I'm going to put an asterisk on yours anyways for Tactics at 1.
Fuck you.
You got to asterisk yours for putting Tactics down at the bottom.
Yeah, we'll have a revision, and I'll change that.
All right, so through the magic, according to this, if I'm going to sort them, I really should have been more prepared and sent this before, but I gave us a 2% chance of doing this tonight. Yes, fuck off. Katamari Damacy, according to the magic of our math, is now in our number 6 spot. It is between Donkey Kong Country and Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Wow.
And
those both Nick picks.
I don't think that's that crazy. That's high. I don't think it's unreasonably high.
If it had more, I mean, what's this, like a 4-hour game?
7-hour completionist. No, it's 11-hour completionist, 7-hour just playthrough.
Yeah, but I mean, like Star Fox, I can beat Star Fox in an hour.
Yeah.
So I mean,
you can definitely play this game faster once you get to know the game. Like if you know where everything is, you're like, okay, I know how to go through this. You could easily probably complete this game probably in a solid 4 hours, easy, if not faster. Probably, I bet you could do it in 2 hours.
Maybe.
Yeah, but we have another game after this. What's hit for? Let's try. We're gonna do a Halloween special. I won't say we're gonna try for a Halloween special. and see if we can do it. If not, our next game is Halo.
Oh. Nick
Yeah,
got him for the high picks.
All right, let's call this.
Yeah, slap this pig.
Slap this pig, and there, I gotta get some sleep. So please, follow us. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. We're on pretty much everything, I think, except for Spotify. Are we on Spotify?
I think so. I think we're on everything. Anything
we're
that's
on
an
everything.
RSS feed, you can find us.
Yeah, anywhere there. Follow us on our socials, all Spindash Retro, the Twitter, the IG.
Yep.
Have a good one. We'll see you guys next episode.
Later.
Bye.
La 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 la.
Oh my God.